powerful, beautiful wife, many servants, rich. But what exalted father does not have is what? A son. And of all things in this life that exalted father wants, it's a son. As a matter of fact, God said that in him, through him, all the nations of the earth were going to be blessed. And so he's thinking, you know what? I'm getting older and older. My wife, she's, she can't have a baby. What are we going to do? Where's the son? Well, Sarai, Abram's wife, decides God needs a little help. So we're going to give God a hand. And here, I want you to take my handmaid, Hagar, and just kind of treat her like a wife and have a baby with her. And so Abram, I'm not exactly sure what he said about that because the Bible doesn't tell us, but it does say that he did it. And so she becomes pregnant and they have a son. So Abram's like, yeah, we're good. God's going to bless all the nations, through my descendants. Now I finally have a son. And God said, nope, that's not the way it's going to be. It's through your wife, this wife here, that son is going to come. And Abram hears that and he thinks, that is funny. And he laughs. And God establishes the covenant of circumcision in Genesis chapter 17. This covenant that was going to be a mark, a sign of the covenant, that these were God's people throughout their generations. And in that chapter 17, God changes his name from exalted father to what? Abraham. Now it's not Abram, it's Abraham. And Abraham means what? Father of a multitude. And he says, you know what? That child that you're going to have, you're going to call him Laughter. The promise is overheard that she was going to have a child by Sarah. Her name is now changed to Sarah. And when she's in a tent, and she overhears that promise too, and she cracks up. So both Abraham and Sarah, they are listed in the Hall of Faith in Hebrews chapter 11. And it says, by faith she conceived and was able to have a son. By faith. But they laughed. They laughed at the thought of it. God evidently thought Sarah was doubting and said, hey, is anything too hard for God? And I don't know about you, but I find some comfort in that because sometimes I wonder, is God really going to get me through this as he promised? And then I'll come to my senses and say, yes, of course he will. Because he's proved himself faithful over and over. And that's why these words are here. That through the patience and consolation of the Scriptures, we might have hope. Romans 15:4.